Okay, it's really overwhelming to know where to start when you're writing your launch copy. So since you usually have to have a lot of emails, I wanted to give you 6 emails that are your like go-to tried and true emails. If these are the only ones you're writing in your launch, these are the ones that are going to help you connect with your audience and convert your offer. And not only am I giving you the emails and what you want to put in them, but also the strategy behind the order of the emails and how you are talking to your people so that you're really making those deep connections while converting your offer.
Let's talk about these emails.
So pro tip, always, always, always write your sales page first, because the emails can come from the sales page. Like not everything is going to be copy and pasted, but a lot is. The sales page is the hub of the entire launch or funnel. Like all of the messaging comes home on the sales page and then gets dispersed throughout the launch. Then when you're writing your emails, you can literally pull the copy you've already used and then change it around to be more of an email format or beef it up or like add in a story or whatever. But like the amount of copy and pasting that you can do and should do, it's not about like being lazy. It's like we need repetition in messaging and people need to hear the same thing multiple times in multiple ways. So when you write your sales page, you've got 65% of your email writing done. So I'm going to give you like 6 that I think these are the only 6 you're writing, you're good. You're going to want to write a lot of emails in your launch. That's just the reality of it. And there's a lot of ways to do that in a way that feels really good, that feels like you're not spamming your people. But like, if you write 3 emails, people are not going to get the information they need. They are not going to like read everything. They're not going to consume everything. They're not going to actually like digest everything. So the first email that I really recommend you send is what I like to call a let them off the hook email. And this is like a less lazy, it's not your fault. Because just saying it's not your fault is lazy copy. Write that first. That can be your first draft. That's fine. But then like, let's turn that into better copy. But the reality is, if you're solving someone's problem, chances are they have tried to solve this problem before with other solutions. So if your reader is the problem, I don't care how fucking incredible your product is. If they are the problem, it doesn't matter. So we have to give them information, not manipulate them, not tell them that they're having a limiting belief, give them new context and information to say, it's actually not your fault. You have to let them off the hook. So the next one is belief shift. So this is similar in the sense that like you're giving them more information to help show them that something that they believe to be true isn't necessarily true. If somebody has a misconception about the industry or the solution or the outcome or the success or whatever, that you can say, it's actually, let me reframe that for you, right? It's like, hey, let me just like give you some more context that maybe you didn't have, that maybe with this understanding, things could be different. So it's almost like that let them off the hook, but it's just like, what are the hesitations that they have or the reasons that they're saying, I can't do this? And how can you truthfully and without telling people how to think, help them reframe that? The third email, this is definitely more detail related. So this can go at the beginning of a launch when you want those people who just make really fast, confident decisions. They just need the information. Or it can go at the end of the launch for the people who are still seeking more details. So this is the product tour. It literally is the walkthrough of your offer. So now we're getting into like the details of what's included. I'm sure you've heard to focus on benefits over features. Please do not list everything in your program. Find out what matters to your audience. List those things. Do they really, really need shortcuts? Are they really struggling with one specific thing? Great. Tell them that one template that's in there and be like, templates like this template and this template, because I know those are your favorites, right? This training, which teaches you blah, 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 so that you can do blah, blah, blah. And you don't have to use module 1, module 2. You can make it step 1. You can just be like, these are the general categories, right? But you want to walk them through what their experience will actually look like. Is it purely DIY? What are they going to be learning? What tools and resources are they going to have? Are they going to have some extra support, mentorship, ability to ask questions, whatever these things are, but you just want to give them the information. The next email I call the feature focus. In your market research, what are the things that people are saying, I really need this. I haven't been able to find this thing everywhere. If I could just have blank, I'm really struggling with blank. but you actually have blank in your program. Or you in your onboarding survey, please have an onboarding survey. And you just ask them, like, what's the thing you're most excited about now that you're inside? That's the number one feature that they're the most excited about. Use those features and call them out in your emails. And so you're saying, like, we have everything you need to do, blah, 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 including this one workshop where you're going to learn how to do X, Y, and Z, and not just learn it, but you're going to get this template. So yeah, so it's about like calling out a feature that is either going to help someone who's like, I can't do this because I don't have X, or help someone be like, I haven't found that anywhere, or you know what I mean? It's like those things that they would be really excited about. The fifth email is the FAQ, but it's not an FAQ. We're going to call it the conversion FAQ, because your FAQ are not your frequently asked questions. If you are getting in a launch or have gotten before, and if you've never launched before, you won't know. It's okay. You're just going to take note, like you're just gathering information. If you are getting support related questions, if you're getting confusion, if you're getting detailed related questions, how long is this program? Do I have to do it in a certain amount of time? Do you actually show up and help me, or am I all on my own? Those are support related and user experience related questions. That's information you need to make sure you cover in your copy. So if you're getting those questions, that's really good to know. That is a frequently asked questions, but your job is to go back and make sure that those details are clearly covered in your copy. Your FAQs that go on your sales page and your emails is going to reflect the hesitations that someone would have around not buying your program. We are not tackling objections. We're not overcoming objections. We're not telling someone you can't afford not to do this. Nobody wants their very real thought or experience to be tackled. Like, how disrespectful is that, right? But if someone is saying, I don't know if I'm ready for this yet, maybe they're not. So maybe in your FAQ, you're like, the question is like, how do I know if I'm ready? Then you literally help them answer that. If you are still doing X, Y, and Z, or still working on X, Y, and Z, then you may not be right for this. But if you're ready for this, if you've already accomplished this, like, tell them what qualifies them, right? Maybe someone's asking like like if it is like an ROI related thing, like what ROI can I expect to see? So maybe in that question, I will say like, nothing is guaranteed. Results are going to vary. It completely depends on a lot of things. Some can be completely outside of your control, but these are some average results, not my like biggest, sexiest. These are some average results other students have seen 3, 6, 9 months after, 1, 2, 3 weeks in, whatever. And if you're talking about ROI, you can say like, however, if this is going to like prevent you from meeting your other responsibilities, this is going to make you struggle to put food on the table, if this is going to keep you from paying off your credit card, like, don't do it. Right. Yeah. So what are those hesitations? Like, but I don't have enough time. That's a great FAQ. Or what if I don't have enough time? The answer is not. Of course you do. Help them actually figure out whether they do or not, or like paint a realistic picture. So what are those hesitations or objections that people are using to disqualify themselves, and then use the FAQ to help them self-vet in or out, right? Help them self-qualify or disqualify themselves. And then the last one that I would say you should definitely have is the quote unquote cart close. So whether it's an evergreen funnel, whether it's open enrollment and it never ends, whether it's a true cart, like cart open, cart close, just let them know when your promotion is ending, right? Like, hey, tonight at midnight, today at 6 o'clock, tomorrow at 6 o'clock, like, this is what's going to change. The discount goes away. This extra one-on-one bonus call goes away. The cart closes because this is true cohort style. Or like, actually, guess what? Nothing changes. It's open enrollment. So if you decide that it's right for you, that's fine. Just letting you know, like, I am capping it at a certain point, right? Just like give them the information, but just don't leave them hanging. Let them know that the promotion is ending. And then what are the circumstances around the promotion ending? If it is true urgency and scarcity, you do want to communicate that, but don't manufacture it, right? And if you need to have some urgency and scarcity, which yes, it does increase sales, like for a short time, but I'm not sure it really increases sales over a long period of time, but just communicate the information to them. Just let them know this is what's ending, this is what's changing. So those are the 6 that I would say, if you're only sending out 6 emails, use those. Use one as a cart open to announce the promotion starting, use one as a cart close. And then again, in the cart close, you don't just need to say, well, it's ending, give them more details. And the other thing I'll say is, the one reason I didn't include social proof as its own email, if you're doing more than 6 emails, yes, I would love you to have a case study or 2 or 5. I would love you to have testimonials. I'd love them to represent people who do not look, live, and love just like you, because just because something worked for you does not mean it's going to work for someone else, especially if they have a different life circumstance. And if you're the only person who's ever gotten results, please, please, please just don't be selling your stuff yet. But you should be weaving social proof throughout all of your emails. Yeah. And if you have the capacity to write a specific case study and specific testimonials, and yes, maybe you want to include the average big wins, but maybe also that small minimum viable win, or like the easiest, quickest win or whatever. So yeah, social proof should definitely be woven through all of them. But if you're only doing 6, those are the ones that I recommend.
Okay. That's amazing. It's so fun. I love diving into that stuff. I love hearing it. And oh my gosh, this was amazing. You taught so much